All right, we're about to go into Game 4 against the Tampa Bay Lightning, the second game on the road at Amalie Arena in Tampa, Florida. And there's something really interesting that I want to note. If you look on the right side of the screen, look at this. The Edmonton Oilers are up 2-1 in their series in the Western Conference Final. With the Colorado Avalanche, we are also up 2-1 on the Tampa Bay Lightning in the series. There is a very high likelihood of a Stanley Cup Final rematch. I've harped on it a lot already, and it could very well happen. It could very well happen again. So brace yourselves. This is an opportunity of a lifetime to take a 3-1 series advantage over the Tampa Bay Lightning. We could be looking at a Stanley Cup Final rematch from last year. We're staring right down the barrel of a Stanley Cup Final rematch right now. Depending on what happens over in the West between the Avalanche and the Edmonton Oilers, and we'll just cradle that right there. A nice, easy save to start the game off. But we can't be worried about what's going on in the West. We have our own series of issues to take care of over here in our series with Tampa Bay. I would really like to go back home with an opportunity to close this series out. Wouldn't anyone like to have an opportunity to close a series out, going up 3-1 and bringing it back home? And I'm going to try not to fumble around with the puck. Put a little too much mustard on that. And that is the second time in this series that me playing the puck has directly led to a goal. Well, we play the trap perfectly in the neutral zone because look at this, 3 guys. There is nowhere for Tolvanen to go here except dump this in. So he rims it down low. My geniusness decides to come out of the net, play this, and just blindly rim it. Now, the problem is I can't tell if there is anyone on the boards. Can we please move this? I can't tell if there's anyone on the boards. There isn't. There is a defenseman standing right here. It is Josh Morrissey. He's like, hey, Vince, I'm right here. I'm wide open. But instead, I just rim it blindly up the boards, up the glass. Who gets there first? None other than Braden Point. So he keeps this in, and then it goes to the front of the net. Down the Panarin, actually, then to the front of the net. I'm just getting turned around back in my net by the time all this happens. So this is pretty bang, bang, point blank. Granted, no one should be giving up that much space to Tolvanen. The guy that started all this is the guy that finishes all this, of course. In hindsight, what I wish I did, and I thought about doing this in the moment, believe it or not, in the real moment, I thought about just leaving it here, and I should have done that in hindsight. Breaking news. Bad things happen when Vince plays the puck. I mean, I can't get a break in this series. This is the second time that I have just made a dumb decision with the puck that's led directly to a goal. Now, in my defense, on that one, at least it's down to the camera angle and the fact that you can't see who's on the boards, who's on the near side glass when I rim it around. The other mistake that I made back in Game 1, I directly threw it off of Kuznetsov. Or, not Kuznetsov. Who was it? Kucherov, not Kuznetsov. It is the last name beginning with the letter K. K-U. It was actually Kucherov in the first game. He's the captain of this Tampa Bay Lightning squad. Blake Wheeler digs it out. That was dangerous. That was a great setup for the Tampa Bay Lightning. I held station on the post, and I came away with a save. Oddly enough, Kuznetsov is on this Tampa Bay Lightning team, so he is a member of this team. You got Kucherov and Kuznetsov. It's easy to see how I could get confused between the two of them, and we'll get it right back to Larkin again, and we'll have a second go at it. And Vasilevsky, he covers up the rebound on this try. And now the onus on me is to just forget about my mistake, number 1. As a goalie, have that goldfish-like memory. Immediately forget about your mistakes if you make them. Own them, and then forget about them. And then move on and make up for it with some brilliant saves later in the game. I got to show up from here on out to the rest of this game. If I can only allow that one goal, man, I'd come away feeling happy. Remember, we're playing for something else other than just the victory. We're playing for a line score here. So first line for Carolina is going to get going. Drew in off the outside of the net. It looked like, at least from my angle, seemed like that was from the outside of the net. Ekblad has stolen it away. Up to Braden Point. So the Tampa first line against the Carolina first line. Point tried to go short side on me, not fooling me there. He didn't even hit the net anyway. All right, pick that up. There we go. And Jarvis scores off the post and in. So off of the little turnover I think that he created He pushed Ekblad off the puck. It was basically standing there or sitting there for Kotkaniemi, who sends it down low to Jarvis and sets up a beautiful goal for Seth Jarvis, the man that started it all. All right, well, this may just be the night of players initiating the play that leads to the goal, and they're the play that starts the play. They're the player that starts the play, and they're also the player that finishes off the play. We saw that with Tolvanen on the Tampa Bay goal. We just saw that with Seth Jarvis on the Carolina goal that has now knotted this game. Now, this is going to go out of play. How nice of Nino Niederreiter. He didn't even afford me an opportunity to screw up. He threw it right out of play. He felt sorry for me. And now I have a prime opportunity to screw up. So what I should have done is that. That's what I should have done the last time. Lesson learned. I always say if I make a mistake, I will make a really dumb mistake, but then I tend to learn from it, usually. Coach LaBelle, you have to allow me that long leash. Allow me to make little mistakes. It will pay off, and you will benefit from it in the end. I mean, even elite goaltenders screw up from time to time.
Set him. Oh! He got tied up and lost his stick!
So Victor Hedman, this is something that I want to mention if I can focus on... God, that was some good passing. Well, I'm not going to mention it now. They really fooled me with that passing play to set up Strome. And I think it's 2 goals on about 5 shots now, which is just miserable. Well, what I was going to say before Strome scored that goal is Victor Hedman. I just noticed this because I looked back at the roster last year for Edmonton. Hedman was on the Oilers roster that won the Stanley Cup last year. And so he's come back to Tampa. He was not in Tampa last season. He's returned to Tampa. So he left to go win that Stanley Cup with Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers. He was successful in beating our team, and now he's back on his home Tampa Bay Lightning trying to win another Stanley Cup with these guys. But we want to deny them that opportunity. I've stuck with this camera for quite a few games now. It's kind of worked out for me, but I mean, if I continue to have a bad game, it's not really been a terrible game so far. The most recent goal is kind of living more in my head than the mistake I made to start this game off. If I do struggle a bit as this continues carrying on here, I'm going to move the camera back to action or whatever the hell the name of the camera is. Penalty delayed against us. I thought that was a Tampa Bay penalty. Well, it's a darn good thing you touched it because I was about to vacate the crease. All right, here we go. Power play time for Tampa Bay. Great. This could be the power play that forces me to change the camera angle. Not like the camera angle change will necessarily make a world of a difference at all. But if they score on this, I'm definitely changing the camera. Matheson, just get it out. And I asked a question earlier, and I think it was game 1. I don't remember which episode it was of this series here against Tampa. But I asked a question, was Blake Wheeler on that Edmonton Oilers roster? No, he was not. He was not on the Edmonton Oilers roster, which is why I was looking at the Oilers roster from last year's Stanley Cup final. It was the player in mind. I've already forgotten who the player is. That'll go between the legs. Blake Wheeler blocked as it tried to get through. But yeah, Blake Wheeler on Tampa Bay now was not a part of the Edmonton Oilers last season. Oh, that's a goal. I mean, there were 2 Tampa players standing undefended in front of the net. What are you going to do? It just feels like this game is so over already, and that was Kuznetsov scoring the goal. I mean, he was standing there short side. There was a teammate backdoor. He was not defended. No one was covered in front of our net on that. And I mean, I know it's a power play. There's got to be no excuses for that to happen, power play or not. And thank God the first period is just going to end right here. I'm going to be judged so harshly for this game. I just know it. I'm going to be judged unfairly for this game. I can't afford this. And we may just be letting Tampa right back in the series with a game like this, a performance like this from the team. But, I mean, some of it's on me. I certainly have a fair share of blame to take. You know, there's 2 periods. There's a whole 2 periods left for us to show up now. It's time to show up now. Should have already shown up when the game started, but no better time than to turn it on now. Just frustrated and displeased with how that first 20 minutes went for me. It couldn't have gone any worse, I don't think. I mean, 3 goals in 1 period on 7 shots. It's pretty ugly right now. That's going to end up in my net if we're not careful. I just love how the puck is bouncing free to players like Artemi Panarin, some of the worst players the puck could end up going to just out of nowhere, bouncing off of a Canes player in front. I don't know how many power plays has Tampa had in this series. I don't think they've had many. That may very well have been their first power play, or did they have power plays in Game 3? I don't remember Game 3. But through the first two games, the games we played in Raleigh at home, I don't think Tampa had a single power play. We were very disciplined at home. And this is just Blake Wheeler taking his freaking sweet time. Hold the post for just a second. Let's see what we can do here. I haven't seen much action to start out the second period either, so my save percentage has no hope. Don't worry, I have put aside money for a coffin, for both, two coffins in fact. One for the save percentage and one for the line score after this game. I've already got custom coffins ordered and they'll be made within a day. Oh, Ryan Strome just barely missing the net. Here we go again with Strome. He just missed the net just a second ago. Off the side of the glove. We're barely getting a piece of some of these saves. A save is a save, right? But my God, it is. We're teetering on the brink of being pulled in this game, aren't we? Playing with fire and playing until we get burned. I mean, technically, I guess I've already been burned. I've been burned 3 times in this game. Tampa has figured it out. They figured out how to shut us down through a couple of games here in their home building. They've gotten right back to their game, back to their style of play. They've responded well and rebounded from a terrible Game 3 in front of the home fans. They didn't play very well here in Game 3. I'm just kind of living in my own head for this game, aren't I? That's what it feels like anyway. I let that first goal in, and it just feels like everything since then has been somewhat of a distraction. Just trying not to be distracted. Let's think back through the 2 goals after the first goal. So the second goal was it not that point blank goal from Kuznetsov? Actually, I'm sorry. That was the 3rd goal of the game. That was the most recent goal, was it not? They had the goal that was passed off to Strome, and he sniped it because I was not even close to playing the correct angle on that shot. I gave so much net up to Strome on that goal. It's just a shame that Vasilevsky can't play on the same level that I am right now. That would really be helpful. It'd also be helpful if Tampa Bay would shoot it off the rush every once in a while. Now, I can actually see how many players I have open and who's available. And look at that. No mistakes made on that. I got it up to Timo Meier. I've basically broken the puck out myself. That's a nice thrown on low to the net. We had the rebound. We were all over the rebound, but so was Vasilevsky. Looks like we've made a small adjustment to our game. We're getting the puck more toward the net, but nothing's going past Vasilevsky right now. Come on, Kuznetsov. Oh, I was about to say, are you chicken? No, he's not chicken. He's going to shoot it from outside.
What's wrong, McFly? Chicken?
I just wish they would shoot it from outside like that more often. Just skate it in off the rush and just put one on net. It would help me at least to see some action and to get some saves. As simple as they may be, it would help when my save percentage is absolutely tanking the way it has in this game. Just stay in the net. Let's just make a decision to just stay in the net. And whoever that is someone's writhing in the corner. It's Tony DeAngelo, and he'll go center circle with it. Cernak loses it to Andrei Svechnikov. Would be nice to transition this, but surrounded by 4 Tampa players, doesn't matter. He did transition it into a goal. That was a nice play off a turnover that he created himself. He just went coast to coast basically with the puck, and that's going to give us some life. That will breathe some life into the Hurricanes. Oh, did we ever need that? And it comes late in the second period. That puts a little bit of breath in us, a little bit of air in our lungs, so we can try and come back and tie this game. I got a whole job to do myself if I'm going to give the team a chance. I can't have any more screw-ups. Truin will pass it off. Down low to Nate as he forced it off Vasilevsky on the backhand. Definitely had a great look, standing right in front of the blue paint. Svechnikov again will try and save by Vasilevsky, his fellow countryman. And much like in Game 1, without my major screw-up playing the puck, this could be a tie game right now. I know, I try to have too many moments of grandeur in this series, playing this Goalie Be a Pro series, and it usually doesn't end up in my benefit. All right, Braden Point, from right there, please. I don't prefer Tolvanen shooting it. That was a better angle for Tolvanen. Oh, no. Get up. That was close, way too close for my comfort levels. Turned aside, but we were backing ourselves off into the crease. This has gotten pretty crazy to end the second period, but how's that for some action to end period number 2? This is Svechnikov's goal that has cut it to a 1-goal game. All right, if we can just blank the Lightning with this third period. Did we blanked them in the in the second period, didn't we? It sounds like I'm replacing a swear word with the word blank, but I'm not. I really do need to blank the Lightning, though, in this period. I need to come through, much like I did in the second period. That was a much better period for me as well, period number 2. Not as much action, but enough. I think I've seen 17 shots in the game to this point, so actually, that would make that period a lot more action from Tampa Bay. Oh, God, here we go again. Here we go again. Oh, I put that on the tape. Are you kidding me? Well, it didn't take long to start off with some drama and me playing the puck. At least it didn't result in a Tampa goal. I was kind of forced to play the puck on that one. That was kind of a situation where it was deserved, but there's no pressure on that as well because of how quickly the puck ended up to me, as well as my little tape-to-tape pass to Jonathan Drouin. Now let's see if we can pay off and capital. Oh, yeah! Now that's capitalization. Spell it goal with a capital G, because Jonathan Drouin is the real G. Now that is getting her done. We have come right out and staked our claim to a tie game to open the third period of play. Now again, what did I say about blanking the Lightning? I really need it both for the team's sake and for my personal numbers sake. I could close within a 900 save percentage by the end of this game. It's a feasible, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but it's feasible. Let's just say it's feasible. They'll drive the net here. That'll be dropped up in front, turn aside off Panarin. Nicely done. Panarin has absorbed lots of body contact in trying to get that shot away. Drouin into the catching mitt of Vasilevsky. Now deep breaths, everyone. A whole period is a long way to go. This is a whole lot of game left to go for Blake Wheeler and the Tampa Bay Lightning off to Kuznetsov. I just had enough net taken away to turn that shot aside. Kuznetsov's been all over the puck tonight, and I don't even know what line that is. I think might be Tampa's third line. Kuznetsov at this point is quite aged. Most of this Tampa roster is quite oh my God, that hit the crossbar and went out of play. This is the thing about this AI this year. They are pretty freaking deceptive. You never know if they're going to take a shot from a bad angle like this, and they came. Did I make a save on this? I think I may have. I did. Okay, so it hit the post, not the crossbar. See, my guy, he's going to back himself off quite a bit. Look at the depth he's playing in the crease. This is terrible depth for this scenario. Now, granted, it is at an angle, so you can get away with playing a little bit deeper in your goal crease, but I think this hits a blocker. And then we turn it off the outside of the post. Very weird save, I must say so myself. May have found my thumbnail for this video, but it's going to hit the post and clang way out of play. I don't know if we can find the puck somewhere in the air. There it is. And it's just going to go, look at that depth of field, yo. Okay, so I made a save on that. I thought it hit the crossbar over the shoulder. It actually hit the blocker and hit the outside of the goalpost, and it was a slap shot from an odd angle, of course, so it did go it catapulted out of play. It hit the post or not, I about had a heart attack on that shot, and there's a nice, easy save. Now the Lightning are starting to shoot it. This is a theme that I've been noticing from Tampa, that as games go on, they get more eager to shoot the puck. I think we had the same case in Game 3, where they were much more eager to shoot the puck. That was brilliancy by Josh Morrissey. I don't know if brilliancy is a word, but I'm just going to use it as one anyway. And this is another game where they waved off a goal in this series. I am so confused. Did the puck not cross the goal line before he ran into Vasi? Well, we're going to get the official call, and it is no goal. It is confirmed. The call on the ice is going to stand. Well, I really wanted that, because we would have a lead now to play behind. And we are staring down the barrel. That's the second time I know I've used it in this video, but we are staring down the barrel of the potential overtime game. Dare I say anything? I don't want to say anything about that, because it's kept in, though, by Tampa. Where are we going with it, Tampa? I don't know why you wouldn't get it back over to Hedman or whoever's playing. The point is going to go to Panarin instead, and we escape without harm on that whole possession. Victor Hedman, still an elite defenseman, of course, in this universe as well. I mean, we're now in Season 5, so some of these guys are quite aged. Cover it. I didn't know if they were going to go right back to the guy going backdoor, but he decided to take the short side shot. The thing that's so hard about playing that situation is you don't know if you want to cheat to the potential backdoor option, but you never should as a goalie, because that's not your job. I wanted to play it game, please. Just let me. Oh, I did not want another D-zone face-off. They have two X-Factor players on the ice, excluding Vasilevsky, by the way. But in this defensive zone faceoff, now Lindell, we got to be careful with this. We have struggled to break the puck out, and as I say that, we have a great rush play. We're going to go down low to the corner. Hedman has won the battle against Jarvis and continues to win the battle. Ellie Tolvanen is not going to skate through that defense. And the pressure ramps up. Point with a good forechecking play has created a turnover. And we've saved it, but I wish we could have held on to the rebound. Montour will clean it up, and then not so much. Blake Wheeler lost it, got it back to the point. Hedman, Kuznetsov. What are we doing, Tampa? What are we doing with it? Who's going to shoot it? Who's going to shoot it? Someone's going to shoot it eventually. Cernak, big bouncing rebound. Please, I would have preferred not to have that big rebound given up. The stress has reached a maximum capacity for me right now. Oh, no, it's no big deal. It's just 5 minutes left in a really close game and a tie game in the third period where my personal numbers mean so much. This game means so much for both teams. I'm playing a Tampa team that is full-on elite. Let's just admit it. This is a full-on elite Tampa Bay squad. And it's not going to get any easier from here. Wheeler tried to throw that through all that traffic. It did hit someone in front. Now we're almost down to 3 minutes. The period is now flying by. That's just onside and kept in by Montour. Dumped in by the Lightning. Now this is where I got to be smart with it. Come get that. You got a teammate wide open. He's standing in the neutral zone. It was Svechnikov. Now go shoot it on your fellow countryman. He's been decked down by Cernak. Now a minute and a half. We are in next goal wins territory pretty much no matter what. Now, the last thing you guys need to do is consider taking a penalty of any sort. Don't do it. Don't tempt fate here by taking a stupid penalty. Domi to Meyer, and Vasilevsky has continued to keep the puck out. Big moment in this game, and I gotta pee. And I mean, I know I'm in control. I can uh-oh. Oh my goodness. We nearly saw a breakaway for Ellie Tolvanen, and we have gotten away with that for now. They could not have had a more stupid handle with the puck up near the blue line on that, and I do have to pee. I could pause this at any time. I'm in full control, but I'm fully immersed as well. And I want you to remain fully immersed. Much like a goalie in real life, you don't get a pee break in the middle of a game. You can always go in the goalie pants. I highly wouldn't recommend going in the goal crease because, you know, they're going to look and they're going to see yellow snow in the crease, and everybody's going to know exactly what went down. And that would be extremely embarrassing for me at this phase of the game. We're just gonna go to overtime. We're just gonna play for OT. I'm gonna hold this post in case something dumb happens, but we will. For the third time in 4 games, we're gonna go to overtime in this series. What an Eastern Conference final we have on our hands. I will see no, speak no, hear no evil. Welcome to overtime again for the third time running in this series. It's one mistake. The puck is in the back of your net, and that goes for both goaltenders, and that goes for both teams. I would like to see us in this super early because I just can't take any more stress. Please. I want it to end right here. I'm sitting at 25 shots faced and 3 goals on 25. It's not pretty, but, you know, I could come away. If we can win this, it could be worse. And I think if we can win this, I could come away with a positive line score, but I just cannot afford to drop this game in overtime. Our team can't afford to. We really would like to take that 3-1 series lead, but, you know, Tampa's hungry. They don't want to lose a game on home ice or lose a second consecutive game on home ice. We're just playing around with it, trying to make a breakout play happen. Why don't you just skate forward with it? That's what happens when you don't skate forward with it. It's a breakaway. You turn on his legs. And why did we do what we did with that? Huge opportunity to end the game, and we just pissed it away in overtime. I don't like the way that we're playing defense, and I don't like the way we're trying to break the puck out. I swear we had that breakaway opportunity. He passed it off. It was kind of like a weird give-and-go play, and they just ran themselves out of space with it. We got useless idiots on this team sometimes. We really do. Meyer is not one of them with that retrieval. Larkin, please score the game-winning goal. It has been mostly Hurricanes to start the overtime, which is a positive. And we've stripped them again of the puck. Domi coming in off the bench. He's going to fly it in behind the Tampa Bay net. Ekblad up to Braden Point, and he's going to get smooched at the neutral ice. He may have been smooched as well in that process. Just checking in on my anxiety right now. My anxiety can't handle anymore. We've almost played half of the overtime period. Can't we get a game winner? Not off Seth Jarvis' stick there. KK, maybe a little bit better luck? No, he can't even get it on the net. D'Angelo, Yarncrow, Jarvis, everyone's looking to shoot on their forehand. Oh, you knew it was there. Backdoor was an option. Blake Wheeler probably going to try to force the pass. It to Fabry. He scores. There will be a Game 6. That is guaranteed. There will be a Game 6. Ugh, that's all kinds of bad. I had almost recovered a 900 save percentage, and then Fabry with a game winner in overtime. I cannot afford a bad game like that. We will be playing 6 in this series. We know that much. That's a disappointing way to drop it. We've dropped 2 games in overtime in this series as well. So overtime has not been kind to us. I don't know if there's anything I could have done differently on that goal. You just knew they were trying to set that up. And with all the lack of opportunities Tampa had, you just kind of had a feeling they were going to come down, and one of the first chances they really had in overtime, they were going to finish on. And they did.